Hello and welcome to Cruise Live. Today we're going to continue with Danganronpa. Goodbye Despair. Now, I still have a cold issue. I don't think it's a cold. I think it's like sinus problems. So I'm having a hard time getting through, staying awake. But anyway, we're in the trial right now, so I don't have to read anything. So that's good. And hopefully we can finish this trial and see what will be on the final island, I think. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Hello! I hope your day is well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. Ugh, my heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy.
That's pretty much Monokuma.
Yeehaw! Ah, but be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
Thank you, Monami.
I never expected the Funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
Okay.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily? I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekumaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes.
He's acting like a completely different man now, after going into the final dead room. What happened to him in that?
I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
Is he like not actually a lucky student, or is like there must be more to him now that he's figured out?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
He's right.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
Akane! You were drooling waterfalls?
Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Cause of death. Or wasn't it a hit to the head with a blunt object? Beaten with a blunt. No what? Oh, that wouldn't utilize the... Oh no. What was it? I thought horribly damaged and was beat. It's there, but it was beaten blunt object wouldn't be. So what was it then? Ooh, crushed by the elevator? That's a possibility, but I don't know how. No. Yeah. What is it, falling?
Crap!
How though? Oh, fall. Well then falling's the only other one. Dead battery has nothing to do with the...
I see!
But I don't know. How's falling?
That's it? I think he might have died from falling.
Died from falling?
But like... Ah. Like someone lowered the elevator, like the tower elevator down, and then pushed him out of the door. I don't know how you would do that.
If the Funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It
Yeah.
might be possible in the tower.
But the tower doors are
You could
locked.
push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of
Wow,
hell.
I'm just trying to help.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
I think that's just because she's hungry. If Nekomaru died from falling, where did the killer shove Nekomaru?
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
I like how she always says
Hold
Nekomaru
on!
now.
Did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open. Which means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
And they understand that Nekomaru felt his death.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th.
Let me see, what's Akane's thing? Heard a rumbling sound. That's not gonna help. That's not gonna help.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on! Did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open. Which means the elevator...
That must be the
Maybe.
threshold of that elevator.
When the elevator is on, you can't go through the door.
It'd be impossible.
Then, after locking they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor.
Okay. Maybe I'm gonna lose
When
on
the
this one.
elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking they moved the and made use of the...
Hold on! As long as there's a moving object inside...
Okay.
No, that's wrong! That sensor should only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
So someone definitely did kill him. It's not him himself. But who would do such a thing?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from, yes?
That's what I was about to explain, before Kazuichi interrupted. Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?!
Way to create the drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru is still in it. No, he had wire connected to wire connected to his leg.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
How would that...
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
How about we all shut up and listen to what Chiaki has to say?
Silence, pest!
Don't be so cold.
Sonya's just become like...
What if I start to enjoy it?
Oh, what? No. Oh, no.
If you arrange it a certain way,
None of them said anything about the wire.
you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
Oh, the
What about
door
the oil
knob
on the
is-
floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
Oh, dang it! There we go. No? Oh, that was wrong. Yeah. Game over. Okay.
We will never give up!
Alright. I don't really get the point of the death system, except for like making you fear that you're gonna die, but like you can just restart as soon as like from wherever you left off. It's not a big
If you
problem.
arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
I don't know, I feel like the doorknob, because you could attach him to the doorknob and then the door, when it falls, he like pulls the doorknob and it comes off and then he falls to his death.
Crap!
I don't know how the pillar would...
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
She really likes the pillar.
Crap!
What is...
If you arrange
Oh,
it
do I
a
have to do
certain
the...
way, you can cause the drop...
So you're telling to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the...
The doorknob on the floor
Maybe I have
seems
to do this.
suspicious.
How about we all shut up and listen to what
But I already
Chiaki has
have.
to say?
Silence, pest!
Don't. What if I start to enjoy it?
There's
If you
Luigi,
arrange
he's
it,
a...
you can cause the drop...
So you're telling to think
Odd
about the
person.
arrangement.
That arrangement... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
How about
Okay,
we all
can't
shut
take
up
it.
and listen to what Chiaki has to say?
Silence, pest!
Don't be so cold. What if I start to enjoy it?
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
What is it?
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the...
The doorknob on the floor...
How about we all shut up?
Silence!
Don't. What if I start to enjoy it?
If you arrange it a you can cause the drop within the elevator.
What is this?
Crap!
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement, the hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the doorknob on the floor? How about we all shut?
Silence!
Don't. What if I start to enjoy it?
If you arrange it a certain, you
Okay,
can cause the drop within the elevator.
No.
Crap!
How 100 mega shocking. I'm listening.
If you arrange
I
it a
don't know
certain
what to do.
way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement,
The hammer is suspicious. Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the doorknob on the floor? How about we all shut?
Silence!
Don't. What if I start to enjoy it?
Oh, this is gonna take a while.
if you arrange it as, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement,
The hammer is suspicious. Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the doorknob on the floor? It seems suspicious.
if you
But I
arrange it
can,
as, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement,
The hammer is suspicious. Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
I don't know. Maybe it is the oil, but oil doesn't make sense to me.
if you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're
Nah. I might have to look up this one. Because Oh Yikes isn't even here. Or anyone can help me.
We will never give up!
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is
What do they have about the hammer anyway? And under the tipped over pillar. With the face are pulled out, there are some scratch marks on the knob itself. One of the knobs from the far back of the story, from the strawberry house. The strawberry house is on the bottom floor, isn't it? I was thinking they would hang him from the top floor. Not... I don't know. Okay, let's see, tipped, loop. Tipped over damage, it's also stained. Sometimes. Maybe I mixed the pillar and the broken doorknob together.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor. How about we all shut up?
Silence!
Or the pillar
What if
and
I
the
start
wire.
to enjoy it?
Something.
If
Hey,
you arrange it
Tiger.
as, you can cause the drop.
So you're
I am
telling us
having
to think about the arrangement.
troubles
That arrangement is...
with this.
The hammer is suspicious. Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
Crap!
Or the
If
wire
you
and
arrange
the
it a certain
doorknob.
way, you
I
can
thought I already
cause the
did
drop.
that.
So you're telling to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement.
The hammer is suspicious. Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the
doorknob on the
floor? Seems suspicious.
Ah, there we
I
go.
agree with that.
Finally.
Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob...
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair! That's right. He was suspended in midair. Huh? The killer tied up Mekamaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot, and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower.
Oh, Grape Tower was on the bottom. Okay, so yeah, my idea was right. So they suspended him from the doorknob on the 4th floor. And then somehow...
And suspended Mekamaru in midair.
he just crashed.
That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
You better not finish that sentence.
Why, game? Why do you keep making inappropriate things? Hey, well that's
The
a
killer
great
took
door.
advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy. So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
Why?
If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall?
That's what I was thinking.
Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
I'm interested. How did we do this? Hajime? I don't actually know. Okay.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from... How would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
Okay.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right? If he was sleeping, there's no way he could do that to himself. Now's the time if you want to take... But in that case, you still won't be able to explain the drop. Moving the elevator with Nekomaru inside...
Damn it!
Even if they suspended
I'd have to-
Nekomaru from... How would they make him fall?
Aw, dang
There's
it.
no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
I can't back down!
Ah, dang it. This one's really hard. Ah, that one's really hard. I can't click fast enough.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wall, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
I think it's...
It doesn't mean someone had to push him
Can I
off.
please choose the thing on... dang.
It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Come on, come on.
If he was sleeping, there's no way he could do that to...
Dang it.
Now's the time if you want to take back that, but in that case... You still won't be able to explain the drop. Moving the elevator with Nekomaru inside is just impossible. End of story. What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Allow me to cut through those words! What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like,
Ooh, that'd be
how
a...
would he even wake up?
That'd be a bad way to go. You wake up suspended in midair and then just fall to your death. That would be horrible.
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why... If something like that happened to you, you would instinctively, your body would start moving. Mekamaru probably did exactly that.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, He must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
They didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because because he's strong?
I see. So that's how
because
Nekomaru
he
fell
already
to his death.
Tried moving that doorknob and almost broke
You
it.
finally understand now?
Yeah. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total
Aw.
fucking pig.
Poor Kazuichi, just because your name is really hard to pronounce. You're not a pig.
Isn't that right, Miss Sonia?
Oh.
If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
Oh no.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy, he gets off on this.
Oh, this game is so weird.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
Anything that I can think of happened to him. Cola came out of his eyes. He collided with the pillar.
I see!
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
That makes sense.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
Hey! Oh yikes. Welcome.
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
Did you guys both finish your homework? I'm gonna keep checking you guys, because your schoolwork is more important than watching this stream.
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. Cause even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
That's even worse. Why didn't you go to school? Oh wait, what's the day today? It's like... No, it would be Monday for you, right? Why didn't you go to school? Oh, you're sick. What about you, oh yikes?
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know!
It's because of his clock. He gives you Jewish holidays off, so lucky you. Media claw.
We headed for Grape Tower. Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
No. You can't mess with his clock. His clock is perfect. Okay, I know what it is, but
We headed for Grape Town before 7 a.m.
that
But
means
the alarm
that
inside Neko was set for 7.
Nekomaru died.
His time of death and the time the body was one of those must be an illusion.
The killer they probably messed with the clock and that's gotta be it!
No, that's wrong.
that means that the killer changed all of the other clocks and set them back a bit or something.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
That would have taken so much time. How would you not get caught? There's quite a lot of clocks, right? Or was there only, there's only 2 clocks, isn't there?
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
All the ships are coming together. Hajime and Chiaki, Sonya and Gundam, Fuyuhiko and Kazuichi.
I never misunderstand! I'll crush you into dog food!
I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? This one again. But how'd I fall off? That was so on. Fine. Seriously, this has got to be the boringest. It's at least it's like, I don't know. It's definitely the boringest minigame they have in this. Wait, what? What did Hajime and the others misunderstand? Time in the building. Yeah, I ship Kazuichi and Fuyuhiko. Very spicy. I'd have to. Ooh, oh, what? Okay. They added something that I did not expect. But can I even make that? Well, I must be able to. Oh, yep. Again. Oh, I'm not liking this because the jump height or length, it's not long enough for me to comfortably do this. It's like just enough to get across. Oh, what? Come on, I'm landing on it. I can see my surfboard touching it. It's touching it real good. It was working for that side, and I don't get it on the other side though. Come on. Oh, oh, there we go. Which clocks was tampered with? The building clocks. Oh, what? Okay. They're adding some spice. That is nice. But this is how it should have started, and it should have progressed from here. Although I guess they don't want to make it too hard, because then some people just would get frustrated. Which house had the wrong time? think both houses. Am I wrong? Is either both houses or the Great House? Okay, Great House. Good.
It's all coming together! You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What?
All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Not again.
Now's not the time
I
to
don't
be
care about
pleased.
what you
More
say,
importantly,
Nagato.
how much was the time off?
It seems like it's 30 minutes, right? Or maybe an hour. I don't know. No, wait. When did they hear the crashing? That was like 5:30, so it'd be off like by a few hours, actually. Yeah, wait, the crashing, right?
If it...
Her things are crashing. Heard a rumbling noise at 5:30 AM. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell.
There we go.
I agree with that.
Aha! I have exactly what you need.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
That's a bit suspicious. But like, you wouldn't really lie about that. Like, you'd lie that you heard it. You wouldn't lie that you didn't hear it. If you were the killer.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
Pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
But at 5:30 AM, it's likely the answer. 2 hours. I can do math.
I see!
Yes. Look at me go.
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
But who had the energy to go around to all of the different clocks and change them when everyone was starving?
Plus, the Funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious, so they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Alright, because his clock wouldn't change, so.
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success.
Besides missing the time, the killer also used a specific thing.
I see!
That's it! The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
That was 7 o'clock.
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m.
I guess. Yeah, 7 o'clock.
And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
It's this thing that might have something to do with the thing.
At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I
Why
think
wouldn't he,
about it,
like, wake up
I
the other
realize
people?
what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Like, I guess you can assume that other people have already gone down, but, like, wouldn't you go and check the rooms and, like, see, hey, everyone, we should wake up, because we gotta go to Monokuma Tai Chi. Don't want to miss that.
Too early! He didn't even ask you yet!
Oh, yeah. I remember he said that.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez! That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot, or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad!
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it! It's incorrect!
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Wow, they're like a fighting couple.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
It must be one of the girls, right? I don't think it's one of the guys.
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi
Who is
for when
it?
Nekomaru fell?
Is it Gundam?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Is it Gundam? Because I'm pretty sure he looks pretty sweaty. He's sweating. Fuyuhiko was there. Pretty sure Nagito was there. And Kazuichi was there. So it must be me. Okay, Gundam. Right? No, wait. No? Wait, who was not there? Okay, well, now I'm... Who was not there? These are the only guys, right? No, I'm confused. I'm confused now. But they were all there. Fuyuhiko was there because he was the one that found the alarm.
You're the only one!
Oh. Okay.
The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me,
Okay.
Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
I am
Not
getting
only
confused.
did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
You're
Couldn't.
definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House,
Why is this?
but I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
But me and Akane heard it.
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it. But it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know.
I still don't know. Is it because we're on the... No.
Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
You got hearing problems? Nagito, Sonya, Chiaki. Oh no, not the Hangman's Gambit. I don't even know what the word is. And it's 2 words! What? And there's an X in there? Is it gonna be an X? I don't know. No. Okay, D. Okay, D. D. Yeah. D. E. Death. That's not death. Is it? No. Death. Del. I don't know what's this thing. Uh-oh. I'm just guessing all these letters right now. I have no idea. Oh, deluxe rooms? Ah, deluxe rooms. Deluxe. There we go. I guess the deluxe rooms are soundproof.
Nagito, Sonya, and Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Soundproof, yeah.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve course student talent?
I don't like snappy, sassy Nagito.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right?
Hold on a sec! Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
I have to just select someone now? decisive factor because of deluxe rooms. I don't get it. Then can it only be someone in the deluxe room? No. Yeah. I don't get how... Can I can't check the transcript or anything. Who doesn't have an alibi? Is it Chiaki? Oh wait, Chiaki. No, okay. Good, my waifu is not gonna die fu. But who else is there? No one else has a... Like everyone has an alibi or something. Yeah, right? Or am I missing? I'm so confused.
You're the only one!
Is he? How? He was at the alarm.
There's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
Yeah, it was me.
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
But was he in a deluxe room? Is that why he shouldn't have known the alarm was ringing?
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it.
Poor Sonya. Losing. My waifu was gonna have a laifu, but my husband, is gonna be husband dead. Well as Sonya. But at least she has Kazuichi, but she doesn't really like him.
So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Sonya's gonna try and save him.
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mekamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room, just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
But why would Gundam do it?
Because I was in the lounge.
Good on you, Fuyuhiko. Doing nothing but still doing something. You get a badge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
I'm sorry, Sonia. Your Gaifu is a Laifu.
Answer me this, including myself
It's
in
so
my
funny when they
4
go on the
dark
defensive.
devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
What?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
That's the best he could come up with.
Is that your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my
Better than
part.
Leon Stevens. True.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously.
What's up with this guy?
Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
He's so weird.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it?
Hmm?
At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder.
And that's saying something.
What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Ah, you said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
He didn't rebut that much. It was pretty bad.
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor.
He's gonna like say something that we don't actually know about. It's like, how did you know about that if you're not the killer?
From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's
I
already been
object.
decided.
I object.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
Oh, Yikes helped me with this one. He used the final dead room. There's something wrong. Final dead room. So what else can I use from this? None of this helps.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
No, it's not.
As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator was the only means of travel between...
No.
No, that's wrong! No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist!
Are you sure about that?
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method? You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right? There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show off. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House.
But how do you get into that?
After I opened the door and went down,
But how do you get back up?
surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma archive, which is...
Meaning, the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through
Now I
it
guess
as
I should
many
have left all
times as you
6
want.
bullets in the gun. Why? Like, I hate Nagato as much as anybody else, but... but why? What? +1, see if there's a bedroom. You can pass through it as many times as you
If
want.
they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame! However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion.
You wouldn't be able to expose your baby boy.
If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
But I would have been able to figure it out anyway. Well, like, I guess if he didn't go through it, I wouldn't be able to. But, yeah.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say?
But I think, wasn't I going to try and check the final dead room anyway? But I think Chiaki stopped me. No, wait, that was when I was trying to kill people or something.
Don't make me angry! You wouldn't like me when I'm angry!
Ooh, them fighting words. Okay. What would this be? Sure.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes.
How am I
Provided
supposed to
you
get
use a
these?
spacious wormhole.
Dang
However,
it.
how frail I say! Your decayed
What?
illusion.
I can't get these
Shall I
things.
feed you to the progeny of vile deities? Even if the turbid box doesn't exist,
I don't like these. They're all in
could
weird
travel through
places.
multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say!
This is the one I needed diagonals for,
Illusion.
but I'm still not getting it.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Ah, dang it, I'm out.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you
I'll have to get all the way to the other
vile deities?
how am I supposed to get there? There's no one who's gonna get there.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes.
Oh, I get it. It's a
provided
circle.
you use
A
a
square.
spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Ah, dang it. Oh, there we go. Oh,
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to at least pray to the key which dwells in the light. Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
I don't know.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
I don't know what's the right thing.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
Oh, dang.
Damn it!
Even if the turbid
Ah, not
box
this
doesn't
one again.
exist,
No, no,
you could
no,
travel through
no,
multiple
no,
planes,
no.
provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I already proved a secret passage
This
exists.
is definitely the worst game,
The secret passage was at the Octagon.
and the logic dive
Know
one
the
is
limits of your own reasoning.
the most boring one.
You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
Okay, so it has to be that one. The key that dwells in light, that will break through the darkness.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
I don't know. What am I doing?
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
I like rebuttal services. Slow, you're too slow, hard to make. My argument has
Crap!
You gotta get back with the evidence that he went to the Octagon. Oh, okay.
Know the limits of your own reasoning.
How do I know that he went to the
You
Octagon?
say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind
No,
confusion.
that's not it.
Crap!
It's a cool thing,
Know
but
the
they don't
limits of your own reasoning.
give you
say
time
the killer
to
went
actually.
to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
They don't give you time to actually listen to the conversation because it goes so quick, and you have to just cut the words. It'd be nice if it gave you more time
Crap.
or something.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Damn it!
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion.
I ran out
Shall
of
I
cuts.
feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
He's what he got from the octagon. Oh, the Y, is that what he got?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was...
Know the limits. You say the killer went to the octagon.
And they don't even let you change what your thing is while we're talking.
Don't at least pray
Oh,
to the
dang it.
key which dwells in the light.
Dang it!
Damn it!
Oh, don't.
Even if the turbid box
No!
doesn't
Okay,
exist,
fine, I'm just gonna change it here.
you could travel through multiple planes.
God. I hate this game mode! It doesn't give you enough time to think through things. You just have to keep doing. And if you don't do things quick enough, then you have to keep going back. That's real annoying. Okay, wire is the only thing you could get from...
Even if the turbid box doesn't, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Okay,
I already proved a secret
Please,
passage exists.
let me get
the
through
secret
this.
passage was at the octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blood...
Allow me to cut through those words.
thanks, oh yikes. I would not be able to get through this game
Wire
without
used to string
you.
up Nekomaru's body.
I'd have to Google a lot. A lot more than I already did.
The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems.
Oh, does his
This is
hamsters
the
die
end.
too? I don't want his hamsters to die.
Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case, but there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Are we actually gonna skip the climax thing?
Hey, what are you... First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru.
Are we actually skipping
elevator
it?
was
I'm
probably
fine with
broken
that.
by that point. Thanks to that,
Oh.
Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower.
I don't even get to
which
click
was
through it.
supposed
It's
to
like-
be the meetup point. So he tried going over
He's
to
just talking
Strawberry Tower,
without
just like
me.
we did when we found out the elevator was broken.
Alright.
Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
That was weird. They didn't actually let me choose the pace of that little talk. They just let him talk and I couldn't skip it or I couldn't do anything. Or maybe I could have skipped it, but I couldn't wait on sentences like this.
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties, but even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me!
Oh, it's getting quite ferocious.
Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
I get it. I get it.
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your word. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
Alright, let's provide the argument. And oh, this one, okay. It means we're getting close to the end.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire!
Oh, wait, tab.
Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver!
Show me the cadaver.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David
there's so many.
prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire!
Wait, did I do it?
won't let
Oh,
you.
dang it.
For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
This is the end!
Of destruction. Is it getting too loud? Is it over me?
Even if
I'm
you
not
didn't
sure
get
if it's
behind
sometimes too
Nekomaru,
loud.
you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
They're not hamsters, they're 4 dark devils of destruction.
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes.
Not too loud? Okay. I guess my headphones are just loud. They pierce through supernova, silver fox sandy. Alright. Alright.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, With your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Mechamaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Oh no, that means his hamsters will have to die as well. No.
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. Now, trample this life! Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
I don't know, you said this trial was gonna be like emotional. I'm not feeling much emotions to Gundam right now. I thought when you said it was emotional, I thought you were gonna say that it's I thought you were gonna say that that Akane was gonna be the one that killed. But no, it's Gundam. So, how is it emotional at this point? Who was in the lounge? Who was in the lounge since early morning? Oh, he left. The hammer was a fake weapon. He gathered us around. We heard the rumbling. I did. Okay. Start again. You set the alarm clock. What's this? Kiss the pillow. No, it wasn't. Oh, hamster, press. Yep. You said yeah, it's okay. Oh, I already got the dangling thing there. Where do these go? Oh, he set the alarm. Got it? Okay. I'm not too sure. Why did Nekomaru follow? Do we get... Does it show a thing of him wrapping the wire around? Yeah. Yeah, there. But what's the one that's missing? This is one that's not. Yeah, where does this go? Okay. Killer destroyed. What after leaving the tower? They destroyed like everything. Oh, that was long. For someone who isn't a massive Gundam fan, his motive is debatable, but depending on which motive you believe is sad. Nekomaru is dying is sad. Sonya and Akane are sad. Fusion is sad. The 4 Dark Days of destruction is sad. Ah, okay. Okay, that was pretty a long explanation, but yeah, I understand. Because he's your fave, he's your bae. I was gonna, when you said it was sad, I was assuming like Akane did it because she wanted to like end Nekomaru's misery because he's a robot, so it's not really living, or something like that. But I guess that was just my brain making up stuff. That would have been more dramatic though.
Here's everything that happened in this case.
Alright, I'll explain this.
Let's
Act
first
1.
go over the many tricks.
The killer set up a lot of traps and a lot of
This separated
broken
Nagito-
things. He first messed with the elevators, messed with all the
didn't set the
alarms, and
After
went to the
finishing-
final dead room to get all
This
the
means
gear
that
he
secret
needed
beam-
to prepare the killing. Then
morning
Nekomaru
of
woke
the-
up because he has an alarm clock. But Fuyuhiko thought it was a different time because the clocks were set to a different time.
There,
But
according by that,
Nekomaru
actual-
went
that's
down
all.
to go do Monokuma Tai-Chi. But when he got there,
So he dis-
Gundam was there! And he used his 4 Dark Days of Destruction
but
to put Nekomaru into sleep mode.
with the power of
And with that, he could do
This
whatever he
force
wanted
from-
with Nekomaru's body. He set the alarm to make him wake up
First.
at 7:30 and hung him to the doorknob, where he then set the elevator to go all the way down to the bottom floor.
after leaving straw, they did, and to keep.
So, when Nekomaru woke up,
Then
would-
after a,
fall. Answer the ring of Tipo.
when that happened, and Nekomaru's body with the killer entered.
Then he left some things to make
Placed it. This was
it seem like something else was happening. But then he left,
with
and the
so-
alarm went off. So we had to rush to the alarm place, otherwise he would have been
something
found
as a
out.
res-
So thanks to Fuyuhiko, we
allowed
solved
to
a lot
avoid
of the
worst-case
mysteries.
scenario. The,
And then Nekomaru
when the
woke
wall
up,
clock,
and he struggled to get out. But then the
he woke
doorknob
up while
broke,
he was originally, but
and he
because
crashed into the pillar at the bottom, which made him
Nekomaru,
die.
he crashed. The sound of
And we all heard it, but we thought it was an earthquake because
how
we're
it
dumb.
meaning. They also
And also the time was all set up, so yeah. Anyway, it's Gundam.
that someone is Gundam Tanaka.
I hope my
I can't think of
explanations
anyone else but you.
are great. They really explain everything.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe
Poor Sonya.
you killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
But why did he do it? That was never answered. That's a lot of points. Alright.
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever! Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
Okay. Now there's only like, what, 7 of us left? Maybe less than that. And I'm guessing there's only one person that's gonna kill now, because the next chapter is chapter 5. That's the last chapter, right? It'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results. You guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right. The one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing Funhouse was Gundam Tanaka.
Nice!
Yay! I said all that without biting my tongue.
Now then.
Now that we've decided who the killer is, let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. This isn't the class trial. It's true the class trial is finished, but that doesn't mean the incident is over. We can't finish yet until we hear it from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like.
Fall, my tears.
Why do you want me to talk to one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would be unnecessary for me to say something.
Listen well.
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct?
How pitiful.
You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake.
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost and died.
Damn it!
This, too,
if he
must
was
be
trying
the
to
will
cling
of
to life,
causality.
there are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
You.
Fine then. I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the Funhouse, and I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent and instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away, or even called for help, but he did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose to fight that risked life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked life and death?
Let me tell you this.
He was serious, too. He gave it his all to try and kill me. If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never have known why the victim went to the tower by myself.
I can see it!
Nobody would have known the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Could it be?
Nekomaru really did that? Why didn't he just run away?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
This scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
What?
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, lords of darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me.
He's got to settle down with the D&D playing.
I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might!
But Nekomaru is planning on killing anyway.
I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back.
He was fine with going through the murder trial.
Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got.
Nekomaru Nidai, your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
Well, he doesn't really have blood anymore. But I get what you mean. It'll be more oil. Why did you fight? We are all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agree, it was still wrong. I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you.
Let me tell
However,
you this.
I must say this. What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling!
There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation.
Fall.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by the feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch, you will die!
Giving up on life, that is an insult to life itself.
Let me ask.
Have you fools heard of the term dog eat dog? Cannibalism?
Fine.
Yes, Chiaki. In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures, at some point in their lifespan, engage in cannibalism.
Listen well!
That is what it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of killing is evil, then what would you call giving up on life itself?
I shall engulf this world.
If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing but a blasphemy towards life.
I renounce you!
It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity.
You.
Are you saying all that to try to justify what you did?
But
But it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Fine.
That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth.
Fall, my tears.
But even so, do you think it's a better alternative to slowly starve to death?
Oh,
That belief is why you committed your crime?
you...
Hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too?
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagato, I only did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play.
Well,
You know, after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that, well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without such resistance. Gundam, don't tell me, you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name
Just-
is Gundam Tanaka!
Just who do you think you are? I am Gundam Tanaka, history's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools.
Fade like dust in the wind.
But what about sacrificing yourself for Sonya? Not in a million, not in a billion, not in a 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible. Is that it? Then I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let us be rid of the foolish talk. It's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin!
Yes, indeed.
Yay! Got it! I've prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka.
please wait!
This is too much.
I beg of you!
Huh?
Miss Sonia.
I beg of you!
How pitiful.
An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself. It's fine to start for real, right?
Fine.
Yes, I do not mind, however.
What is it, my 4 dark devas of destruction?
Oh, our hamster's gonna die.
Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared 4 dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor.
No, that's kind of sad.
I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end, pride, conceit, courage.
Why does he say it like that?
insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously!
I'm scared.
Is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end!
Alright.
Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment
My
time!
best time. This trial almost took 2 hours. And it was only half of the trial. Oh, it was this game is so long. Oh, what is that? Is that a pineapple? What? Stampede, ultimate breeder. He did say he wanted to be trampled or something, didn't he? Oh no! Don't kill the hamsters! Okay, he's leaving them behind. What's he doing? Some ritual? What is he doing? He can actually do magic? Oh, nope. Oh. Wait, what? Okay, I don't know what this is, but okay. Oh, the hamsters are left behind. Who's gonna look after the hamsters now? No! Even after Gundam is gone, the spirit of his parting words still linger deep in our chests. Don't give up on life. Did I misunderstand what he meant? Then, what is the right thing to do? I don't know. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer that.
Damn it.
I'm so pissed off. I need to throw something.
Damn it!
You all spent so much time worrying about each other, and thanks to that, things ended up like this. You're all full of Every last one of you. But the biggest piece of is me.
The worst.
Damn it, why am I so weak?
Oh.
Such a downer, clearly. But still, even though we feel this way, we still gotta do our very best.
You are right.
This time around, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe in our friends. If not,
You are right.
Gundam will most likely crawl his way out of hell, and I presume he will be very cross with us. You're right. Aw, Sonya's so upset. It's the ironic ending, how he said, I'll stick with my evil until the very end. I fill the hell with true hell, but underneath his dark overlord act, he was a good person. So that's why there was the animals heaven thing. Aww. Oh yeah, he didn't go to hell, he went to heaven. Because the animals took him. We shouldn't just stand here. I mean, it's not like this is over. We still have to do it. We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who have died, We need to finish this once and for all. So chapter 5, here we come.
Hey!
So how long are you guys going to stand around and chatting? The class trial is over, so it's okay for you to hurry back over to Jabberwock Island. However, the killing school trip will proceed as usual, so make sure you know that.
Wait!
How much longer are you going to keep doing this? One more chapter. One more chapter, that's all, okay?
Now then.
Alright, after feeling down for so long, I finally feel refreshed. That was quick. Let's hurry back and eat some food.
Hey!
That mood shift was, too fast.
It's not like that.
But you know, it's like Gundam and Nekomaru said. That's what it means to live, right?
Huh.
She certainly is something else. Seriously, I'm starving.
Hey.
So let's go back and eat for now. And then, after we're full, let's sleep as much as we want.
Right?
And then, let's do our very best again. Yeah, you're right. With this, the class trial has come to an end, and once again, we return to the Jabberwock Island. The size of our group has definitely diminished, but despite that, even if it was just the rest of us, we did our best to stay upbeat and fun together. Of course, our optimism was only superficial, but at that moment we were able to forget about the dark despair looming before us. Who's gonna take care of the hamsters, though? That is a real question. Well, the only thing I worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight. Is it Nagato? Yep, I'm definitely lucky. Never expected to obtain so many valuable things from the simple game of Russian roulette. Thanks to that, I was able to learn the identity of the true enemy. Before everyone else too. Pretty sure Sonya takes care of— oh, that makes sense, yeah. That's good. I mean, no one could tell that I was lying. There's no way the file had just Hajame's information. Did it have everyone's?
Well,
I guess they were too busy with other matters. Or maybe they reached their limit. Regardless, I was saved. Things would get complicated if they found out. Anyway, I can't forgive this.
damn it.
This should never be forgiven. There's no way I can let her loose. I'll be the one to stop. Is Nagato... what's his name in the first game? Our protagonist in the first game, I've already forgotten his name. Is that like the secret? It seems logical with that, how he looks and everything, but I guess
It's obvious.
I don't know. For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this.
Monokuma appears!
Now then.
Thanks for coming.
What's this?
Why, it's the lonely little Nagato. Are you all alone tonight too?
What's the matter?
So what's up? Your face looks scary. Makoto, yeah. Not Eggy. Yeah, is he Makoto? Because, like, if you got the school files, maybe he's like, oh, that looks like me. Wait a second. It is me. I see, so you can tell.
Hmm?
Oh, perhaps you found out who the traitor is. You know me well.
Well.
Is what I'd like to say, but unfortunately, I haven't learned that yet. Why does it keep saying learned? The correct word is learnt. No, don't use learned, okay? That is not proper English. That's today's teachings from Mr. CD. Use learnt, not learned. I see. So, even you don't know, huh? Looks like the final showdown is going to take a little more time.
Hello.
So why you summoned me anyway? Were you finally going to confess your love?
Hey.
I summoned you because there's something I really needed to ask you. It's about the special prize from the final dead room.
Hmm?
Oh yeah? What about it? There was information about 16 people in the file I received. But isn't that weird?
Say what?
What's weird?
You don't even know?
Well, there's a traitor from the Future Foundation hiding among us, right? Including that person, the total number of students would be 16, right?
Isn't that right?
This file contains documents that were created at Hope Academy, right?
Of course!
That's right. I just reused the stuff from the former headmaster spent a lot of time making. But this file even contains information about the traitor. Was that person also a former student of Hope's Peak Academy?
Who knows?
I wonder.
Hey,
Could it be? Is this your doing? Did you slip false information into the file? Were you trying to keep us from learning that the traitor's identity by obtaining this information? What's wrong with that? If it's my job to heat things up, it's okay if I do something small like that, right?
well,
That's not my point.
right?
My point is, you already know who the traitor is. What's wrong with that?
You're getting all riled up!
How would he not know who this traitor is? Isn't he like the one that puts the traitor into the game? Well, you're splendidly correct when you say it. I knew who the traitor is all along. But even though I know who it is, why do you think I ignored it on purpose? It's just like Mon Ami, after losing her magic stick. The traitor's existence means absolutely nothing to me. Their existence means nothing, huh?
No!
Well, that's just how I feel. I'm sure you guys feel somewhat different. After all, the person is the evil Future Foundation lackey who's putting you guys through this awful stuff. That's not entirely true. I didn't really come here to fight or anything like that. Instead, I came to offer my cooperation, you know?
Huh?
Cooperation?
Hey,
Your purpose is to fill everyone on this island with despair, right? That's why you're intentionally letting the traitor do as they please, right?
Yep.
If that's the case, I might be able to cooperate somewhat too.
right?
However, in exchange, I want to know who the traitor is. I see. Interesting. Very interesting.
No!
Obviously, that's a big no-no.
Unbelievable.
I want everyone in your group to feel despair. That includes you too.
Well,
I know you would say that. Besides, I just wouldn't be able to handle the sadness when you inevitably betray me later on. Just as I thought. You saw right through me.
you're right.
No matter what situation I find myself in, my core way of thinking will never change. In order to create absolute hope that shines brightly, stepladders such as myself and despair exist. You're right. You're a true believer of hope after all. I must say that believer reminds me of that person for some reason.
Huh?
Reminds you? I don't know who you're talking about, but if someone as worthless as me reminds you of some other person, they must be extremely unlucky.
Like...
But you're just as unlucky, right? I mean, the fact that you're even involved in something like this.
Whoa.
I am? I actually think I'm very lucky.
Say what?
You don't know?
Wouldn't you say that coming across this much despair is a rather rare opportunity? I can't rely on anyone on this island, that's why I have to be the one who does it. If I can eliminate despair from this island, I won't be a stepladder anymore. I'll become true hope. I'll become an existence that could even be called ultimate hope. The two of you are alike. You definitely remind me of him.
Hey,
There's one more thing I want to ask you.
see?
Who are you waiting for on this island? Looks like I'm right again. You're definitely waiting for someone on this island. Is the person you're waiting for already on this island?
Hey,
Well, answer my question.
That's...
If that's the case, if that person is already on this island, wouldn't that be exciting? I don't know what he's talking about. But I think we'll have to end it there. 2 hours. How many days are left? 5. Okay. The end. And it'll probably be 1 or 2 more, maybe 3 streams at the max, I think. Until we are finished with this series. And then the actual conclusion to this, like, canon of the game is only in anime form, so we won't actually be able to finish the whole story of this part in my streams, which is kind of unfortunate. And I think I'm going to take a break from Danganronpa. Oh, is there a chapter 6? Oh, okay. I thought there was only 5 chapters. Okay. But I will end it there. Okay. But anyway, after I finish this game, I'm going to take a break from Danganronpa. And we'll try and play some different games, just to change things up. I'm not too sure what game we'll play, but I hope you guys stick around even if I'm not playing Danganronpa. We'll see what else I play.
Danganronpa.
But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time! That was weird. Next time! On City Cruise Live! Bye! There's a spin-off game that mentions the anime. I just finished Chocolate Dog. You came a bit late. But anyway, I'll see what game... I do have the, what's it called? The Despair Girls game. We might play that sometime, but anyway. I want to take a break from Danganronpa after this one. We'll see what game... Maybe you can help me choose what game I play next. Later on. But goodbye for now. See you tomorrow.